Time for another YouTube video. Alright, so we're gonna talk about Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Clash of Champions. I'm not gonna talk about because there have been a whole bunch of other reviews on Clash of Champions, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Ring of Honor Final Battle. From what I know, there's only one review out there of Ring of Honor, so I might talk about that. Start with Raw. Raw started with Kurt Angle coming out and basically saying we're going to have a triple threat. Braun Strowman versus Kane versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title versus at Royal Rumble. And then they all fought. Personally, I don't really care about this match. Brock's probably going to win. Then we get Seth Rollins versus what was supposed to be Seth versus Joe, but Jason Jordan came out instead. Basically, Seth said, I want to fight Joe. The match was already scheduled. Jason Jordan pushed Seth. Then we got Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins, and he'll have a match against Joe at a later date. And then we basically get, my thoughts. Seth Rollins winning, it was good for Seth, because, you know, him and Dean aren't tag team champions anymore, so it's good to see that he still gets wins. And Jason Jordan losing, Jason Jordan's going to turn heel at some point, so I guess that furthers his heel push, or not his heel push yet. Then we get a video, not a video package, but a graphic for a 6-woman tag match: Bayley, Sasha, and Mickey versus Absolution, Paige, Mandy, and Daria Baronado. Then we get Finn Balor in a 2-on-1 against Miz Taraj, and it ended in a DQ because Miz Taraj wouldn't stop beating him up. Why Finn Balor's in a 2-on-1 against Miz Taraj, I don't know. And then Hideo Itami comes out to make the save. Then we get Hideo and Finn versus the Miz Taraj, which Hideo being on the main roster, great. Him being on 205 Live, not so great. But I mean, if he wins the Cruiserweight title, that'd be cool. So Finn and Hideo win, and just continues that whole, they're basically going nowhere with Finn. Like, his comeback feud will probably be against The Miz, or Miz's comeback feud will probably be against Finn Balor, which is kind of useless and stupid, but whatever. Then we get Cedric versus Drew. Cedric wins, so he's the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight title now, which I hope he wins the Cruiserweight title. Then we get upcoming Asuka squash match. Asuka versus Alicia Fox. Asuka wins, because she's undefeated, and she stays undefeated, so yeah. Then, oh yeah, we got a backstage segment with Kurt, Seth, Dean, and Jason Jordan. So basically, Kurt says it's going to be Dean and Seth and Jason Jordan versus Samoa Joe, Sheamus, and Cesaro. And the heels win. Because, I guess because Seth Rollins won earlier, so... Oh, well, Dean Ambrose also did get injured. Dean Ambrose has a shoulder injury. So, yeah. Then we get a broken Matt Hardy segment. He's playing chess with a goldfish. So, that is what it is. I thought it was cool. Then we get Bray Wyatt. You know, classic Bray Wyatt. Spooky, spooky, evil, evil, yada yada. Then we get Heath Slater and Rhino versus the return of the Revival. Well, the returning Revival. The Revival win because they returned, and what are they going to lose in their return? I don't think so. Then we get Elias coming out singing. Then we get all the Sasha, Bayley, Mickey all interrupted him. Elias goes out to the floor, gets ready to walk out. Bayley goes for a hug. Elias sidesteps. And then we get them 3 versus Absolution. Match ends in a DQ. They all brawl. They all stop. Stephanie comes out, announces we're gonna have a Women's Royal Rumble. So that'll be cool. Then on to SmackDown, Bryan and Shane basically talking how Bryan says he doesn't want Shane to turn into another Vince McMahon. And then Shane's like taking it back for a little bit, and he's all, okay, Bryan, good luck with the show tonight. So Bryan doesn't get fired, even though Bryan's like, Shane, you want to fire somebody, fire me. He doesn't do it. And then we get, before that, we get the announcement of a 6-man tag match. Sheamus, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles, Nakamura, and Randy Orton. So then after we get that 20-minute promo segment, which basically ends with what I just said, we get Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin versus the Usos. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin win. That's a surprise. I like Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, so that's cool. And then we get a Charlotte in-ring promo talking about how they're going to have the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and she'll be happy to defend her title against whoever wins the Rumble. And then we get Naomi basically coming out and declaring herself in the Women's Rumble. And then she calls Sarah Logan Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan chicken heads, which is like a slang term. A slang term is like derogatory something. I don't know what it means, but yeah. Backstage segment with Rusev Day and New Day. Basically, Rusev and Aiden English challenge the New Day to a match, and they accept. Then we get Ziggler in-ring promo talking about how he's won a whole bunch of titles. He shows a couple of video packages. IC title win, his first US title win, world title win. Then he puts the title down, or he says you're not worthy, puts the title down, walks out. So what does this mean for Ziggler? He'll be off a couple of SmackDowns, but he's still going to be working live events. And then we get New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English. New Day win because they're the New Day, so why wouldn't they? Then we get the 6-man tag match, like I said before. Randy Nakamura and Styles versus Jinder, Kevin, and Sami. Randy Nakamura and Styles win. This was a good match. Basically the same match they had at Tribute to the Troops, if you saw that. Then we go to NXT. What was our first match in NXT? It was Sanity versus Undisputed Era. Sanity loses Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, aka Red Dragon, are the new tag team champions. Then we get a match before this. Oh, okay, yeah, Roderick Strong versus Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan wins, and he's in the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. Fatal 4-Way for the #1 contender shot for the NXT Championship. And we get a couple of backstage segments. Sonya Deville basically saying how she's going to win the NXT Women's Championship next week. Even though she's already on the main roster, so I don't see that happening. Then we get a Heavy Machinery basically walking to the Performance Center, and they're walking to the parking lot, and Dozovic tries to pick up a car, and then Tito Sabatelli and Riddick Moss come out and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing? We're trying to move your car away." It's like, hey, don't do that. Don't touch our stuff. Which is really probably not even Riddick Moss's car. It's probably Tito's. Then we get the UK Championship match. Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne. We had another great match. As before, NXT TakeOver Chicago was a great match as well. I think this match was better. Pete Dunne wins, retains his championship. All right, I'll go to Ring of Honor now. Hold on. God dang it. Well, yeah, and I'll probably put some Evolve shows in there here in this video too, since I got like all the time in the world. Oh, here we. Oh, can I not look at that? Oh wait, here we go. Okay. All right. First match was it the? Oh yeah. Okay. Matt Taven versus Will Ospreay. Taven wins, which was, I don't know. Basically, it was just a way to get Will Ospreay and Matt Taven on the show, and then they say this is the last time the Kingdom will be leaving Final Battle without gold. Then we get War Machine versus The Addiction, which I kind of want to go back to that match. I kind of wish Will Ospreay would have won, but it is what it is. War Machine versus The Addiction. War Machine win. Yeah, okay. War Machine win. The Addiction, basically, I guess they needed to lose because they did cause War Machine to injure a fan. So, then we get Jay Lethal versus Marty Scurll. Jay Lethal wins because he's the good guy, even though he won with a low blow. Well, then we get Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus Chucky T and Trent Beretta. Which, if you don't know who Trent Beretta is, he used to wrestle in WWE. So Motor City Machine Guns win and successfully defend their tag team championships, which both teams were faces in this match. At least I think so. So I would say I cared who won because I like Motor City Machine Guns better than I like Chuck Taylor. And then we get Kenny King defending his ROH TV championship in a four-way match against Punishment Martinez, Silas Young, and Shane Taylor. Of course, Silas Young was accompanied by the Beer City Bruiser. Basically, we get Silas Young winning and being the new champion because he hit Kenny King in the head with a beer bottle when the ref wasn't looking, so Kenny King got eliminated. And then Shane Taylor got out because I think Silas Young pinned him with the Misery. His finisher is the Misery Loves Company, which is basically like a knee. Your opponent's sitting on your knee and you clothesline him. So yeah, Silas Young wins. That he's the new champion, which I didn't really like because Silas Young is a heel and he's always like, oh, the last real man. Oh, whatever. Briscoes versus Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer. The Briscoes win. Of course, Briscoes being Mark and Jay, not the WWE Briscoes. Or was it Jerry Briscoe and Jack Briscoe, I think. So yeah, Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray win because they're like in their 40s and they're putting over the young talent, as you do. Then we get the announcement that Ring of Honor will have a women's championship, finally. And then we get the Hung Bucks, which is Adam Page and the Young Bucks, against Dragon Lee, Flip Gordon, and Teton. The Hung Bucks, they win the match. Matt Jackson pins Flip Gordon with a super kick, which I guess is good because you don't want some random 3-man team coming in and beating you for the tag titles. Although we did get another random 3-man team formed at the end of this match. Scorpio Sky, who was Too Cold Scorpio back in ECW. So Scorpio Sky and The Addiction, which is Kazarian and Chris Daniels, of course. So they're a new 3-man team going for the 6-man tag titles. And then we get ROH World Championship match, Cody Rhodes versus Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle wins, and he's the new world champion. Basically, I guess it's good for Ring of Honor to put it on one of their guys as opposed to relying on former WWE talent. Alright, I guess I'll go for Evolve now. Hold on. So the Evolve shows are basically what Dragon Gate did for their USA shows. Like, Dragon Gate is, by its iteration, a Japanese company, and the Evolve shows are their English version. Alright, so Evolve 96, and there's been 96 Evolves, and I've seen 60 of them, at least. Alright, so first match is Dominic Garrow versus Joey Lynch. Dominic Garrow wins. I didn't really have a preference on this match because I don't know either one of these competitors. Then we get Kyle the Beast and Shane Mercer versus Matt Nix and Stevie Fierce. Who wins? Kyle and Shane win with a moonsault and the battery from Mercer on Fear. I don't know what the battery from Mercer is. Obviously, it's his finisher, but I don't know what it looks like. Then we get Jarek 120 versus Stephen Wolf. Oh, interesting. DC villain. Then he wins with the Dr. Bomb, which is a lifted drop DDT. Then we get Zack Sabre Jr. versus DJZ Zima Ion, of course, or Shima Ion, if you remember that name. Yeah, he wins with a European clutch, which is basically like an octopus, like a version of an octopus, but just modified. Zack Sabre wins, of course. AR Fox versus Jason Kincaid. AR Fox wins with a low main pain, which is basically not a STO, it's a Spanish fly, but it's on the ropes, so he bounces off the ropes with his legs. He does the low main pain and then does a 450 splash for the win. So AR Fox wins over Jason Kincaid. Then we get Darby Allin versus Austin Theory. Darby Allin wins with the Last Supper, which is basically like a tombstone. And then we get Catchpoint, Jaka, and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams versus Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry, and James Drake. It goes to a no contest because this faction called The End come out and attack everybody. Matt Riddle versus Fred Yehi wins by Matt Riddle wins by submission. His bro mission, which is basically like the Batista bite, but he's slapping your chest as he has you in it. And it was a no rope break match, so basically means when you have your hand on the rope, the ref would usually break, but the ref didn't break because there was no rope breaks. And there's no 5 count in the corner either. Then we get Keith Lee versus Walter, and Keith Lee wins with the power bomb. The spirit bomb, as he calls it. Alright, so now Evolve 97. We get another match with another couple of wrestlers that I don't really know. Dominic Garrow versus Craig Mitchell. Dominic Garrow wins. Again, don't know who he is, so don't care. Matt Nix versus Stevie Ferris. Not versus. Matt Nix and Stevie Ferris versus Brandon Watts and Stephen Wolf. Matt Nix and Stevie win with the assisted unprettier. So I guess it's basically like a unprettier, but he holds your legs and then does it. The other person holds your legs and the other person does the move. Jason Kincaid and Jarek 120 goes to a time limit draw. The Workhorsemen Anthony Henry and James Drake versus Kyle the Beast and Shane Mercer. James Drake and Henry win with the diving moonsault from Drake onto Mercer. AR Fox versus DJZ. AR Fox wins with the Fox Catcher, which is, I forgot what that move looked like. Darby Allin versus Keith Lee versus Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Darby Allin wins with the Last Supper, and he earns the right to choose any match he wants in 2018. And then he does a interview after and says how he wants the Evolve Championship. So I guess he'll choose an Evolve Championship match. Austin Theory versus Red Yehai. Red Yehai defending his FIP World Championship. And Austin Theory wins with a single underhook fisherman spinning reverse STO. So Austin Theory is the new FIP World Champion. Matt Riddle versus Walter. Matt Riddle wins because of referee stoppage. Basically, referee stoppage is when the opponent keeps attacking you and the other guy doesn't put his hands up to defend himself. And then we get Zack Sabre versus Jaka. Zack Sabre defending the Evolve World Championship. Zack Sabre wins with a combination of the calf killer and the stretch muffler. And then the end to come out and attack Catchpoint. And they don't attack Zack Sabre because I guess he slips away or whatever. So, alright, well, that's everything. Because, like I said, lots of people do reviews on Night at Clash of Champions, so I'm not gonna do one. I'll probably do a video tomorrow talking about Star Wars Last Jedi predictions, because I am going to see it tomorrow. But before I go see the movie, I'll do predictions on it. Alright, so until next time, see you guys later.